It's a major story garnering worldwide attention, and we've been bringing you complete coverage since it first happened yesterday.
Tonight, we're working all the key angles, including the investigation into what went wrong, the recovery of those who were hurt, and the outreach to help those traumatized by what they witnessed.
Now, here's the latest of what we know right now. Investigators say at least one steel clip that was holding up 8 acrobats during a human chandelier act yesterday snapped, sending the performers hurtling to the arena floor while thousands looked on in horror. Eyewitness News is choosing not to show the footage in its entirety due to the graphic nature.
Tonight, 2 of the acrobats remain in critical condition at Rhode Island Hospital, but all of the injured are expected to recover. Now, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is packing up and leaving Providence a day early after canceling its remaining performances, but the show is scheduled to go on later this week in Hartford.
And tonight, we're hearing for the first time from the first responders who rushed to treat the victims in the immediate aftermath of the shocking mishap.
Eyewitness News reporters Steve Nielsen and Andrew Adamson are standing by with more on those directly affected by the accident.
But first, let's check in with Susan Campbell, who's live in Providence with the very latest on the investigation.
Shannon and Mike, investigators have been here on the scene all day long. Public Safety Commissioner Stephen Perry says that carabiner that failed is about 5 inches. He says there was a clean break in the steel. The curtain comes down to reveal an aerial circus act, the human chandelier. Moments later, performers plunged to the ground in a dangerous free fall that was captured on cell phone video.
There was a huge metal structure that fell on them, and you know they're hurt bad. 9 performers were rushed to the hospital. 8 are still there, 2 in critical condition. First responders tell us they had to fight through circus animals to get to the victims.
There's literally elephants in the way there that initially for the responders coming in because the show was in progress.
As victims were being cared for, the investigation got underway. Now we know a carabiner clamp is to blame for this accident.
It's a big metal, 4 or 5 inch clamp, and it broke. Cleanly, it broke. None of the hinges failed. It was on the metal piece of the clamp.
Circus officials told investigators the carabiner was visually inspected before the performance.
They have the experts and the riggers that go with the circus that perform those tasks. The city does not, nor does the dome.
We're doing everything we can in our investigation to make sure we can determine exactly what happened so we can take safety steps going forward so that nothing like this ever happens again.
The rest of the scheduled shows in Providence were canceled. Circus employees spent much of the day Monday packing up to move on to the next stop in Hartford, Connecticut, where the show will go on. OSHA is leading this investigation. Live at the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.
We're learning more tonight about those injured performers who plummeted to the ground.
Now, this dramatic photo here sent to us by Eyewitness News viewer Luis Rebello through Report It illustrates the tense moments following yesterday's fall, but there's growing optimism tonight about the prognosis of those who were hurt.
Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen is live in the newsroom.
Well, we've been tracking the conditions of those performers all day long, and the most important thing to note here is that all of the performers are expected to survive. A circus official even expects them to perform again once they recover. This photo sent to Eyewitness News by a viewer shows the 8 performers dangling by their hair just moments before the clamp failed. Their injuries were severe, but all were conscious.
They weren't saying too much, and basically just crying and just kind of like shock. I mean, they probably didn't know what happened to them either.
And when one of the girls looked up at me and very calmly but sadly said, "I can't feel my legs," and that's a helpless feeling for someone like me. I can't do anything to help that.
30 minutes after the fall, they were here at Rhode Island Hospital being treated.
What I saw was just mass trauma and broken bones.
2 are still in critical condition, but all will survive. The 8 performers are well trained. They were hand-picked for the stunt. They're from the U.S., Bulgaria, Ukraine, and Brazil. They started this new stunt in January. The circus spokesman says these performers are very close, like a family.
We think that all of them will be able to fully recover. I know these performers well, and I know that they're looking forward to being able to perform at the greatest show on earth again. But we're definitely, going to give them the time and the support that they and their families need to make a full recovery over time.
Now, coming up new at 6, we'll tell you exactly why a circus official believes that these injuries weren't as severe as they could have been. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.